Revelation chapter 12. This is now the spiritual history on the back of the scroll. Verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. Now the woman is Israel. The great wonder is the Roman powers. The woman signifies Israel under the feet of the Roman Empire. It's in Genesis 37 verse 9. And upon her head, Israel's head, a crown of 12 stars, meaning the 12 tribes of Israel. In verse 2, and she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. Now, being with child means this is the birth of Jesus. Now, verse 3, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. Now, another wonder, this is the symbol of the ruling power Rome. Now, the red dragon always refers to Satan. The 7 heads and the 10 horns go to Daniel chapter 7 verse 23. The 7 heads is the 4th kingdom, which is the Roman Empire. The 10 horns is the papal church. And the 7 crowns is the ecumenical council of the Catholic Church. Verse 4. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Now the 3rd part of the stars signifies Herod, who tried to kill Jesus by killing all the 2-year-old children when Jesus was 2 years old. Later on, Pontius Pilate delivered Jesus to be crucified when Jesus was 33 years old. Verse 5. And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up to God and to his throne. Now, her child was caught up to God means Jesus was crucified. Verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. Now, Israel fled into the wilderness, meaning the born-again believers migrated up through Europe, then years later into England, which happened over a period of 1,260 years, the Dark Ages. Verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels. Now his angels is the devil's angels. Verse 8. And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Now Lucifer, as he was known, was cast out of heaven, and his angels are now known as demons. Verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he is but a short time. Verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman, which brought forth the man-child. Now remember, the woman is Israel. Israel left Palestine in 720 BC and finally made it to Britain in 540 AD. Verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and a half, a time from the face of the serpent. Again, Israel is nourished for a time, times and a half. That's 1,260 years. Verse 15. And the serpent cast out his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Now Rome tried to stop the migration of Christians up through Europe to Britain, and now of the flood means the Huns and Goths, etc., who were attacking Rome the Roman Empire at this time. Verse 16. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God, and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Now, went to make war with the remnant means the devil, trying to stop the spread of Christianity, helps the rise of the papal empire in order to crush any further spread of the gospel.